Hey, everybody.
What's up, Warrior Nation?
Good morning, guys. And by the time you see this video, it is Easter Sunday. So happy Easter to everybody. Hope you had a great Easter.
Coming to you from East Harbor
Yes.
Campground.
One of the campgrounds that we had not visited before. We would come back and we would definitely come at a later
when the
in
weather
the
is warmer,
and the weather is so much warmer,
so that we can visit the places that we wanted to.
Right. So yes, we will be adding this back to our list. We did not do a full tour of the campground or anything because we had a lot going on.
Yeah.
So guys, this is part 2 of our first outing, our first camping season trip. And this is part 2. We're going to put part 1, our travels, here in the description. So if you have not checked out part 1 of this trip, go and check that out.
We couldn't do the stuff that we wanted to do.
Right.
We wanted to go to Puddin Bay, but they also had like a wind advisory on Thursday. The temperature was cold Friday. We knew what the temperatures were going to be trying to cross the water.
Yeah, so we didn't get a chance to do that.
No.
And we had a couple very interesting things happen to us during this trip. A lot that we have never experienced.
Oh boy.
And we're going to share them with you guys, just like we told you in part 1. So with all that being said, we're going to get started with everything that happened to us during this trip. So come on, guys, let's get started. All right, guys, we're back. So Vic, go ahead.
We're going to give you a breakdown of how our arrival went.
Right.
So the directions getting here was good. Didn't have no problems. The truck pulls great. Yes.
Yeah.
So the first thing, when we pull in and we see the check-in, which is, in the center of the road there. So we pull up and there's no one in there. And okay, we don't know what to do from there. We didn't find out till later. Off to the right is the camp store. And you have to go into the camp store to check in. Now, because it's the weather, the month, the time of the month and everything, maybe, since we were here early, that's why there wasn't a person out there. But they should have had a sign pointing, this is where you go to check in. So we have to kind of pull up a map and figure out where our campsite is.
Well, the good thing about it, they had a map right there in a little cabinet. So you could get a map and then you just basically had to find our way.
Yes.
And so we did that. So we found our way. But we get to the site.
The site that, according to the reservations and I guess the website, it's a 50-foot site. Well, we actually drove by the site first because we're looking for a 50-foot site.
Right.
So we drove back around and we started counting the numbers and we're like, this can't be the site, but it's the right number. Site A165.
165. They said that site was a 50-foot site.
Yes.
And our rig is only
almost 35 feet.
35 feet. So why surely 50 feet is plenty for us.
Yes.
But when we got there, that site was not 50 feet.
Yes.
And so we sat there and Vic got out and looked, and there would have been nowhere.
Front and our back were sticking out.
Yeah, we would have had nowhere to park the truck. And we were on the corner. So needless to say, that was the first thing. As a matter of fact, check out the site right here. All right, fam. Listen. Look at this view. This was the first site, our initial site that we should have been in right here. Babe, what site was this?
165.
165. We should have been right there. But what we found out is too short.
Way too short.
There is no way we could have fit in 165, which is right here. There would have been nowhere for us to park.
On there, well, the reservation has said it was 50 feet long.
Yes.
And that's why we booked it.
Yeah.
But this is not 50 feet.
Look, and their eyesight, it might have been 50 feet, but there is no way we could have fit there.
Nope.
So that is A165. So as you can see, that site was super small. We could not fit. And guys, that was a full hookup site.
Yes.
And so when we went into the office, they didn't have any more full hookups.
Mm-hmm.
Now we are here for 3-4 days and they don't have a full hookup.
Mm-hmm.
So guess what? What we had to do, Vic?
Okay. So before we go there, we had to actually go back to the campground, camp store, find out what sites were open. We find out there are no more full hookups.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else is electric except for the tent campers off into one section, which is
right
another A section, 1 to 97. So we go back in there, we get a map, and then we have to drive around and pick out a handful of sites that we like. Yes.
So that took us about 30 minutes or so.
And we got here at 2:00.
So that took us about 30 minutes. So we're driving around trying to find us a decent site. Since now we got full pick because a lot of these sites, as you can see, is open. A lot of these sites are open, but they're only electric.
Yes.
But we don't mind getting electric only if we plan for it.
Yes.
We picked up an extra couple days not planning on not having water.
Yes.
So finally, we find a site that we like. And this is that site.
Which is B40 is the site that we chose.
Right.
It's a pull-through site.
And it's a very nice site. It's just electric only.
Yes.
So with that being said, we're going to head into the next issue, right?
Well, we got to go get water.
Well, that's the next issue.
Yeah, so we go fill up with water.
Mm-hmm.
And normally we can conserve our water for 2 days.
Right.
Shower, whatever we need to do inside here. We don't have a problem.
Right.
Well, because we're here extra day.
Right. Well, we had to get the water when we found out we only had electric
to go get the water
because we didn't have water in our tank.
Yes.
So that was the first time we had to fill up.
Yes.
So what was it? The third day?
On the third day in the morning, the pump goes.
Look, we had just eaten breakfast. Time to clean up the kitchen, and I'm getting ready to run some dishwater, and we're out of water.
We're out of water. Yep.
Hey y'all. Good morning.
What's up, Warrior Nation?
Y'all's not gonna believe another loop. What we call it? Another loop been thrown into our
monkey wrench.
A monkey wrench. There you go.
Yeah.
Another monkey wrench has been thrown into our mix here at this campground. But you know what? We still smiling. Vic, you still smiling? So now we have to rehook back up.
Yes.
To go get water because we still have a day and a half to go.
Yes.
So it was like, okay, what else can you do? Like, let's just go get the water. That way, Saturday night we could take long showers. We don't have to.
No conserving.
Yeah,
just
we don't have to
use water as you
conserve.
want to.
Yeah, yep. So as you can see right here, we are at the fill up spot for the second time during this trip. We had to hook back up. But the good thing about it, these sites are really level. So
Yes.
we did not have to do a lot of re-leveling, I should say.
We didn't have to level left to right, front to back. Yes, we had to drop the front. Yeah, no problem. No problem.
So since we said we had to fill it with water, we might as well dump the tank because we're over there.
Yes.
So Vic, go ahead and dump the tank, and we come back over here and get reset up again.
Which isn't bad because we didn't have much to put out.
Right. Well, the only thing we did was just unhooked and drop the front. Yeah. So that was all right.
We then plug in, put in the, put
the power back on.
We didn't put anything out because it was cold. We did do a fire though.
Right. But the sun has been nice and bright here. This morning is no exception. It is bright and sunny. We're getting ourselves together to pack it up. But we just wanted to bring you all of our issues we had. And that's not, the water issue isn't the last issue, right? So, so anyway, Saturday, we decide, okay, the temperature went up a little bit. We're going to bundle up and we're going to take us a nice bike ride.
Up in the 50s, I said, yeah, we can go
for a bike ride because all through the trip, our bikes never came off the rack. Like we just kept them there. And so anyway, Saturday, we're like, okay, it's sunny out. It had went up to like 51. So we're going to go ahead and get us a nice bike ride in. So we go out, we take, unhook our bikes, take them down off of the rack. And,
so,
go ahead.
Putting the bikes on the rack, I decided to take the batteries out of the e-bikes, electric e-bikes, to lighten it up a little bit. Even though the bike racks we have can support 200 pounds easy, each bike weighing 70 pounds. And I figure you take these out, that's at least 5 to 7 pound battery. That's going to take weight off.
Right.
Okay. So we did that. But our problem ran in when we went to go put the batteries back in. She was able to get hers in, but when it came to me putting mine back in and locking it in place, I'm going to show you what happened.
Yeah.
So here's the battery. There's the key. It even shows you little directions which way to turn it. All right. This little piece here, it's to lock the battery in place. Well, I have the key in here, and as I turn, I don't know if you can see that. It will not lock back into place. Not at all. Key comes out no problem, but it will not lock at all.
So that tells us that now we can't ride because his bike
can't get the battery.
Can't get the battery to operate the bike. Basically,
yeah, I can put the battery back in and close it up, fold it up. But when I put the key in there, it won't lock it in place.
Right. Now, this is our second issue with Vic's bike from electric.
Yeah.
The first was his screen. His screen went out. I think we were on that Atwood trip.
It was at Atwood.
And his screen went out. We got on the phone with electric and they sent us another screen immediately. Like they kind of knew. They walked us through stuff to do. Right.
Had me hook up my screen to her bike. It popped. No, I'm sorry. Took her screen, hooked it up to my bike. No problem. So we knew that it wasn't the screen. It was the screen.
Yeah. So customer service was really great with electric. because they got him a new screen out almost immediately. So we get on the phone with them about the battery. Now, mind you, our bikes are not a year old. So she walked Vic through a few different things to do.
Stuff to do, gently pushing it in. You know, you have to push up and turn. And then they even try to recreate the situation at their shop. And they couldn't figure out why it was doing it. So,
right. So so you couldn't figure that out. So guess what? They're going to send him out a new one. And so that is a plus. We didn't want to mess up our entire camping season. So like Vic said, this is the shakedown trip. So I'm glad we caught that early enough to where it won't affect our future trips.
Which means from now on, I will not be taking these batteries out when I go to put them up on the bike rack.
But so hopefully we're going to keep our fingers crossed that we get the battery before our next trip, which is to Margaritaville,
which is in 2 weeks.
Right. So hopefully they come and it come, but we also invested in the extended batteries. So because we like to ride our bikes at home, so when we take those long bike rides, we will feel a little more comfortable with the battery, you know, losing.
And she being $1.05 and me being like 2 something, you know.
Why? I'm more than $1.05. And if y'all don't believe it or not, I'm like 150. I'm like 155. Yeah.
But the weight of the person also plays a factor in how long your battery will
last. Right.
So I don't know if you guys seen the last bike ride we did through Columbus. One time I got home, my battery was just about empty.
Right.
And she was at half.
So you know what? I'm gonna go back and dig that video up and put that link in the description. So you can check out that bike ride that Vic and I did throughout town. We rode downtown. I mean, we had a nice long bike ride.
We did 20 miles.
That was nice. So yeah, so we did invest in the extended range batteries as well. So that would give us a backup battery.
Yes.
Too. So hopefully we can get that battery in ASAP. They did offer, they have free delivery. I mean, free shipping. So that was good. And then they also going to ship Vic's battery free of charge. So
the only thing I got to do is return
the old one, which is okay because it don't work.
Yeah.
So shout out to Electric for assisting us in the problem. Unfortunately, we had to experience these issues while we're on camping trips. So that kind of affects the camping trip.
Yeah, this is something new that they never had before. So I don't, who knows what the deal is. And as far as I know, and as far as they know, this is the first time that situation popped up.
Right.
But the customer service is great. And we were able to get a hold of them on a Saturday. So
that was good. So that was I think that was the last thing that happened on Saturday. And so we just put the bikes back on the rack. But we wasn't going to let that ruin the end of our trip. You know, if you're dealt lemons, what do? You make lemonade. So what we did was we locked up the RV. We got, old school. We got to walking. So we were able, actually, we had a few people stop by the site during the trip that noticed that we were here.
Some of our
subscribers that are now friends. And those guys, look at the clip right here.
I'm Lavelle.
All right, Lavelle.
Wife Carmen.
Hey, Carmen.
And Pam.
And Pam.
We parked We part of the Akron Adventure
Okay.
Club down in Akron, Ohio.
All right. All right.
To say thank you.
Yes.
To say that y'all content that y'all put out
Mm-hmm.
is so informing.
Thank you.
Everything. We love you. We love you. We love all
Well,
you guys.
we thank you, and I'm glad you came on down here. Yes.
And like I told you, we done sent you a video
Uh-huh.
on Cincinnati.
Okay.
We headed
Kings
down
Island.
there. We headed down there.
Camp Cedar. So, as you can see, we had a great time talking with Lavelle, Carmen, and Pam. Thanks, guys, for stopping by. You know, you're always welcome. If you see us out, knock on the door. We had a great time. As a matter of fact, we even went back the next day. I think that was Friday. And then we went down to their site on a Saturday. Hey, everybody.
What's up, Warrior Nation?
We back. We are going to make the best of the ending of this trip.
That's what warriors do.
That's what warriors do. So right now we taking a afternoon, evening walk. And we're going to go down here and see some of these guys that are actually subscribed to us. So we're going to go pay them a visit. Also, y'all stay tuned. Y'all anything else, babe? Babe, chilly. He said it's chilly out here. Even though y'all see this bright sun, it is cool out here.
Yes.
Ohio don't be playing. We don't be playing in Ohio. You better bundle up if you don't do nothing else. Y'all stay tuned. Shout out to Lavelle and Carmen. We appreciate your hospitality.
And if Lavelle looks familiar, he was at Cardinal. He came over. Remember when we was having our drinks at our campsite
at the Venture Bandits,
Glamp Out. He came over, and he's the guy who rode on the bike, and he had 2 crates on the back of his bike. Yeah. And it was full of spirits. Yes, spirits. Yes. But
so we had another great time hanging out with him and got to meet his wife. So yeah, we would definitely be camping with those guys again. And then Saturday we got a visit from who?
I'm with the real weekend warrior.
All right, now tell us who you are.
Sean Boyer with Boondocking with the Boyer.
All right, Boyers. Hey, we
was right down the road, hour away, and say, hey, they camping at East Harbor. I'm coming to day camp with them.
All right. Well, we are glad to have you, Sean, and we wish Brandy was here.
Oh, y'all see Brandy, please.
So Brandy didn't make it with him, but we had a good time just hanging out and chatting a little bit with Sean. So thanks again, Sean, for stopping by and seeing us.
Yep.
So yeah, so that was the trip, guys. We had
one more.
Oh, we do have one more thing, but go ahead.
Well, it might be different.
It might be different.
So in the first video, you guys will see us. We went to the cat scale to get the truck weighed. And then I was talking about the weight. Well, I reached out to my brother-in-law, Aaron, with Camping with the Abercrombies, and I sent a picture of it to him, the ticket. Well, I didn't realize that the lady had us pull up too far, and we weighed the whole vehicle instead of front axle, back axle, and trailer. So that weight that I talked about is wrong.
So now we gotta go back and reweigh.
Yes. So on our way back, we're gonna stop there again and do it right, so I can get the correct weight. Yeah. The trailer weight is correct, but the truck weight was not correct.
Right. Yep. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna get ready to get packed up. Also, in the first video. So the first video is very important. There are some key topics that we talked about in that. And so one of them was things that we forgot on the first trip. And we asked you guys to leave in the comment section. You can leave in this comment section too. Some of the things you may have forgotten on your first trip that you really needed, or even if you could do without, but you wish you got them. We had a couple things. And one of the things is me being a cook, because I'm going to cook throughout our camping trips. I did not bring any oil. Like, I didn't have any avocado oil. I didn't have any olive oil. I had absolutely no oil to cook anything. So that was a reason why we ended up in Walmart. As you can see here, we went through Walmart and we actually end up getting more than we actually needed.
Yes.
So that was one thing. And what was I think, Vic, what was your one thing?
Well, the one thing was the key thing, or just the one? Because we were supposed to bring, I forgot to bring surge strips, surge protectors. And
they were just hanging on the doorknob.
Hanging on my coat that I had to grab.
And I kept telling him, get these and go put them in the RV or put them in the truck. And guess what? He left them hanging there.
Yeah.
And the last thing, guys, the main thing that we forgot was what, Vic?
We left the blender. So there were no making of pink panties.
No pink panties this weekend. No.
So I'm kind of glad. I'm kind of glad that we're in this open spot and nobody was really here that knew us except for one couple. And because I always say, if you guys see us and you want to sample the drink, come up and let me know. Well, I wouldn't have been able to do it this time.
Nope. And you know, the crazy thing about it, when we winterized the RV, we took the blender out because we like to use it in the house. So now what we're going to do is just invest in a blender specifically for the RV.
When we did our winterization, we did not we took the shower head down.
Oh my God, yes.
We took the shower head down, and we always do that. When we're traveling, we just let it hang down so that, you know, it doesn't fall off when we're traveling.
Right.
Well, during the winterization, we just took it down completely. We could have left it hanging up there. That way we could have ran antifreeze through it. But we just took it down and put it in a small trash can. Not realizing that we didn't drain it properly.
Right.
So when it got cold, temperature dropped, ice built up into it and expanded it
and cracked it.
So
all the way down the side of the shower head, cracked.
So when we went to go use it,
that was the other bummer. I almost forgot that one.
Yeah, the water was shooting all over the place. So that's one of the reasons we went to Walmart. No,
we didn't have to go to Walmart. We didn't have to go to Walmart because somebody put the one that we exchanged out for the black one. Somebody put it in a trash bag and just kept it in the RV. I said, you know what? I'm going to keep this out here because you never know. We might need it.
Yep.
And lo and behold, we needed it. So we didn't have to get that at Walmart, and we still had a shower. So that was the other thing that went wrong.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
That's a learning experience. So we know next time.
This was definitely one of the roughest trips we'd had since we've been RVing and camping. This was definitely one of the roughest. Yeah. It would seem like it was just one thing after another, after another.
Yes.
But you know what? we did not let us ruin the trip. We still got out. We moved around, and we just enjoyed being out here at the campground. We hadn't been at the campground in our RV since September.
Right.
I think, yeah, since September.
So I'm going to take a guess and say maybe 70, maybe not even that many campers are here. This is a huge campground.
A huge campground. And
I think there's 580 or 590 something sites here. But
yeah, we didn't do a tour or anything, but we are definitely going to come back and do that. We may even do some other things here that we've been thinking about. So who knows? Y'all stay tuned for that. But anyway, I think it's time for us to pack it up, get on out of here. We don't have a lot to pack up. That's why we wanted to kind of do this video this morning and just kind of, you know, tell you guys all about our first trip. So we will definitely be returning here. So I think that's all I got. You have anything? You have anything else, Vic?
That's it. That's it.
All right, guys. Well,
wait.
You know what?
I'm just playing. We're just having fun. That's all.
We will catch you guys next Thursday's video or live stream. You never know. But we will definitely keep you informed.
Yes.
All right, guys. So until next time,
I'm Vic.
And I'm Corinne. And we are the Real Weekend Warriors. Peace, guys. And we're out.